to flesh things out, open the phone line for you to join in on the conversation. It's always quite an interesting run, and we get comments from the phone line. You can send text message, WhatsApp, or even via the live chat section on Facebook or YouTube. Of course, Fuhad Saheed will be joining any moment from now. But the two major stories that we're going to be looking at this morning, we're taking them off of the Punch newspaper and the Guardian newspaper. I'm sure that from the trending stories, we were able to, just have an idea of the stories that we're going to be treating this morning. So let's just get straight to it. Okay. We have here, I spent 500 million naira defending my election, says federal lawmaker in Abia State. That's the first focal point for the day on Mainland Focus. And what we have here is that, sorry about that. So what we have here is that House of Reps member for 괰ᴏʀឭᴏᴡ constituency in Abia State, Mr. Amobi Godwin Oga, disclosed that he incurred about 500 million naira defending multiple cases filed by his opponents against his election in 2023 through the courts, election tribunal, and finally the appeal court. Oga is of the Labour Party, and he contested the election against 괰ᴏʀ₦ᴏᴛ of the APC, who is now the Minister of State for Labour and Employment. We also have Lɪධᴇ of the People's Democratic Party, who was also contesting for that particular seat for the 5th term, and other parties' candidates. So that's, what he's trying to, highlight here is the fact that the courts, election tribunal, the appeal court, different political parties, everything, all of the total amount that he spent defending his election came to 500 million naira. Now, what does this say about the cost of running elections in Nigeria? And the fact that, that's why you have people going into this seats or going into these positions and trying to recoup whatever it is that they have spent in the cause of getting to that particular seat. So what do you think this says about the cost of running elections in Nigeria? If someone is spending just or allegedly said that he spent 500 million naira on just defending his election alone, we are not talking about campaign expenses, pre-election, and during election and post-election. Okay, so how badly have we monetized the electioneering process, and how does that negatively affect governance in Nigeria? The fact that people who spend so much money trying to get into office, once they get into office, they do what they need to do to get back their funds. All right, and how can we demonetize election in Nigeria? What about ensuring politicians stick to stipulated spending limits? There are spending limits according to Electoral Act 2022. There are spending limits for each position or each office that you're running for, presidential, gubernatorial, or reps or senate. There are spending limits that you can actually not go against. But then, how do we ensure that politicians stick to these stipulated spending limits? And also, how do we even go about monitoring, let's say. How do we go about monitoring how much is spent, especially post-election? So that is the conversation as regards, the Abia State lawmaker who said he spent 500 million naira defending his election. What does this say about the cost of running elections in Nigeria? How badly have we monetized the electioneering process? How does that negatively affect governance? Also, we're looking at how can we demonetize election in Nigeria? And what about ensuring politicians actually stick to stipulated spending limits? That is that. The second focal point for the day is taken off of the Punch newspaper. And what we have is that BRT passengers are stranded as BRT drivers down tools over payment. So what we have in the story is that one of the companies operating the BRT service, Primero Transport Services Limited, their employees embarked on a strike over alleged non-payment of their December salary. And what we have is that when we spoke to one of the employee or a staffer of Primero, who did not want his name to be mentioned because he had no authorization, said that drivers with the company are on strike. He said, and I quote, "The strike started on Saturday they are on strike because their December pay has not been given to them. And when they asked how long the strike will likely last, they said the matter may be resolved soon, but I don't think it will linger for long. But efforts to reach Primary's MD, Mr. Fᴏʟʟᴏᴡ, were unsuccessful. Efforts to reach the MD Lamata, Mrs. Ajibola Akinjo, was also unsuccessful. But then we are looking at it, how would you rate the running of BRT services in Lagos? What is your own assessment of the BRT services in Lagos State? And what will be your suggestions on how to improve the service? And finally, what are the issues with remunerations of drivers and other personnel of the BRT service? As it is now, many passengers have been left on queues, waiting in queues for almost 2 hours with no bus in sight. And a lot of them had to leave the queue and board yellow buses. And you know how the yellow buses would definitely want to take advantage of this situation. The fact that a lot of people are rushing them. So, prices will be inflated as regards the yellow buses. But then, that's why we're looking at the fact that we need this to be, a very good service. It's supposed to be a wonderful one. I mean, it's done all over the world. Buses, transit buses are made available for the people. But then, what's your own rating of the BRT service in Lagos, and what are the suggestions on how they can actually improve their service? Those are the two focal points that we're looking at this morning. We'll take Fuhad's contribution first before we go to you, our dear listener, to share your own contribution and your thoughts as regards the two focal points. This is Mainland Focus, and you're on to Mainland 98.3 FM. Over to you, Saheed Fuhad.
All right, Sandra, on the issue of the legislator that claimed he spent 500 million defending his election, again, unless he's been economical with the truth. But if it is true, that particular story, I like how badly we monetize the electioneering process in the country. Because again, we are not even talking about the entire election process, just the legal aspect of the election process. So if the House of Reps member is saying they have spent about 500 million naira trying to defend the election, it goes to show why politics has become a big business in the country.
It's not a business.
It's supposed to be our service to the people, Sandra. But whether we like it or not, it has become a big business. And it's unfortunate. That's the reason why we have a lot of systemic corruption. That's why, for example, in our different budgets, we see ridiculous appropriations. At different levels, we see ridiculous procurement. Because whether you like it or not, this young man, though he has not said it, but I'm sure in his mind, he has to find a way to recoup his money. Sometimes politicians will say that they even go borrowing, to run elections. So we need to, as part of the entire electoral reforms process, we need to look at the cost of running elections at different levels. Although, like I said, it's part of our laws, spending limits, but we're only joking about it because we are not even serious about the spending limits. I remember Ms. Saka told me when we were having this conversation about spending limits, that look, so for you to contest as the president in Nigeria and make a decent showing, not that you are going to win, just to show, say, myself, I contest, not, there are some irregular presidential aspirants, they just come. There's no impact. But for you to have some form of serious impact to the point where Nigerians begin to take you seriously, at least minimum you must have like 1 trillion.
I remember one day Ms. Aka said that if you cannot watch 2 billion being burnt in front of you, you're not ready for presidential election.
Yes, that's what he said. Now, he said that it's not as if you win with your 1 trillion. It's not guaranteed. But at least for Nigerians to now begin to take you seriously, you have to have that money. He said for governorship, that for you to even try that, people begin to take you seriously in your state, at least you must have like 10 billion kept somewhere. So, and that's the reality. Put that against what the spending limit of our law says. And like I pointed out, in countries where spending limit is taken seriously, so that you don't monetize the entire electoral process to the point where it now becomes a business and then you are looking for profit on your investment. They ensure that, look, you don't even raise your own money to run your elections. People have to raise the money for you. And that's why if you look at the U.S. elections now, we have presidential candidates at the Republican Party who are already dropping off because they are not able to raise enough support and money for their elections. So at that point, you have not even the people's choice because it is the people that will finance your election. The people, through their own personal donations, NGOs, pressure groups, and all of that, and people that contribute to election. But yeah, it is the people that raise money from different sources to pay people, pay tolls, buy votes, and at the end of the day, they aggregate what is spent. They have to find a way to look for their money. They have to get their money back, even with interest. I mean, somebody that put 500 million on legal process, and I'm sure that maybe running the entire election to have spent like around 500 billion. That's about 1 billion to become out of member. You're not going to get his money back. And I'm sure you want to get it back with profit. So it's unfortunate. That is the reality of Nigeria. So as part of our electioneering reforms process, we have to look at how much people spend on winning elections and find a way to turn it. Lest it becomes a business, it continues to become a business where people are looking for profit. And then that kills governance completely. On the issue of Lagos State, with my state, and I'm sorry that I'm going to be a bit personal about it.
Okay.
Sandra, some years back, the Lagos State government announced, as part of its own mega city development master plan, announced what is supposed to be called an intermodal transport city master plan. Part of it was supposed to be the BRT system. Part of it was supposed to be the rail system. Part of it was supposed to be the ferry water service system. We are even supposed to have what is called a cable car system as part of the intermodal transport city master plan for mega city called Lagos State. One would think that, look, it may be difficult for you to run a ferry service that runs on water. It's not so easy. So it may be difficult for you to run a rail system because of the cost of infrastructure and all of those kind of things. So a cable car system may be very difficult for the Lagos State government to run. But what's the big deal about running a bus service? What is the big deal about running a bus system? Just buy buses, put it on the road. You've created the track. But like I said, if you go and check the running of the BRT system in Lagos, whether you like it or not, there's vested interest, there's conflict of interest. And that is why it is good that this report is talking about Primero. How did Primero came up? Who are the owners of Primero? Why are they so inefficient in the management of the BRT system on the Ikorodu Road? To the extent that they are not even owing their drivers. What is the big deal? I remember clearly it was reported in the papers when this Ikorodu BRT system was going to start. During Ambode time, it was reported, unless the report was wrong, that the Lagos State government bought 100 brand new buses and donated it to Primero. At that time, we questioned it. Now, why would the government buy buses to donate to a private company? But even the buses, have they been able to maintain it? How well have they been able to expand the operations of the BRT system in Lagos? Go and check the BRT buses. Look at their condition. They can't even pay drivers very well. We asked them on our Yoruba show how poorly they are paid. No remuneration, no insurance, nothing. And that's why when you see BRT drivers misbehaving, that's the reason.
All right.
Now, I've been driving through Lagos State now. On the Ikorodu Road, a lot of the passengers are stranded. So, we cannot even run a bus system. A simple thing as a bus system, we can't run effectively. And then people will come and say Lagos is working. How is that a state that is working? You can't run a bus system, a simple bus system. You cannot run properly. So the extent that drivers are now down in tools because you have not paid them their December salary. And it's not just about December salary, they are not well paid. The drivers have complained severally about how poorly they are paid. It's unfortunate.
Well, it is unfortunate. Thank you very much, Fuhad Saheed, for sharing your contribution as regards the focus for the day. Now, over to you, our dear listener, 0913600410. That is the number to call to share your thoughts and your contribution. We have two focal points on the table this morning. 0913600410. For text message and WhatsApp message, it is 0913600430. 0913600430. That's for text messages, for WhatsApp messages as well. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, so please do well to send your messages via the live chat section. Would appreciate that as well. Yes, at Mainland 98.3 FM on both platforms, at Mainland 98.3 FM on Facebook and on YouTube. Drop your comments in the live chat section. I will take those as well on air. Yes, the two focal points that we're looking at this morning: 500 million naira was what a lawmaker, a federal lawmaker, spent on just post-election wahala in his to secure his own seat. I mean, what does that say about our electioneering process and the fact that we have monetized a lot of things that we have turned this government appointment or this election thing into a business where people just spend money and expect to make money rather than focusing on governance. And the second focal point is BRT buses, the operation of BRT buses in Lagos State. What is your assessment, especially as regards this Primero issue where employees are now currently on strike? Now, let's have a conversation. 0913-6000-410. You have just 2 minutes. Please stick to the 2-minute time frame and let's keep things clean. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Olaiwola.
Mr. Olaiwola, where are you calling from?
Calling from Ijai.
Ijai. All right, please go ahead.
I just want to talk about the Abia House of Lawmaker that is spent 500 million. It has been happening long, but in the system that we find ourselves in Nigeria here, not any politician are ready to give accountable of their source of their income. How did they arrive on the 500 million naira? Is it from the pre-election and the normal election and the post-election? That's what you're accumulating, that you're almost that. If you look at the history, if you look at the story concerning the Ayofayoshi, just to win the election, just to defeat Fayemi in Ekiti State, the president of the Nigeria that time used 2 billion naira and he used the private helicopter to bring the money down to Akure Airport, and that case is still in the EFCC. And they are never proven, and they are never sentenced this man to prison until today. It will be because of election. They took the money that are voting for the National Security Advisor, and they took 2 billion naira to go and win election in the Ekiti State. That case is still in with the EFCC until today. And the man already almost 8 years that he left the office. These are the issues we are talking about. No any politician prepared to give account of their how they spend money in election. Go and meet most of the governors today. They will tell you that they use the source. They see the Lagos State. The last time that you are seeing, they say the money that is supposed to squeeze the election is coming from the state government. This is the issue. This money comes in different forms. The source of the money we are not questioning. We are just talking about how you spend the money. How the source of money? How did they get the money from?
All right, thank you.
This is where the government is supposed to be working on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
I think we talked about the source. Now, sometimes they borrow, sometimes they from their personal funds, some friends, associates.
Sometimes people donate to them.
At least Buhari said he had to approach the bank to borrow money.
Well, maybe they said rice people donate.
No, that's a joke. We now know it's a joke.
I don't like it for please.
Rice farmers.
Yes.
Give Emefiele money to buy farm.
100 million, yes.
And they couldn't pay back their loan.
Hello, good morning.
Good.
Okay, 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call, and let's have a conversation as regards the two focal points for the day. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube. The comments can start dropping in now on the live chat section. We're also taking comments of those both platforms on Facebook and YouTube. All right, we have some messages on our WhatsApp already, so I think I'll just take that, and we'll move back to the phone line any moment from now. Good morning, Mainland FM. This is Gege Joshua from Ebute-Metta. There is no way politicians will not steal money or encourage stealing when they win election or lose election. For God's sake, politicians are not Father Christmas. These are human beings and they must recover their money. If we don't amend our electoral law, sanction receivers of electoral bribes, politicians will keep giving. And that is from Gege Joshua in Ebute-Metta. We also have good morning. This is Sam from Magodo. If a politician can spend such kind of money in defending his election, what do you expect him to do when he eventually gets into office? Both the judiciary and INEC are both corrupt because they are the ones that encourage these corrupt politicians. For the BRT, it is still part of the corruption we are talking about. People go to public offices to embezzle money and refuse to pay their workers. Are we supposed to be talking about BRT payment in Lagos with all the money they generate from these buses? It's a pity our leaders keep swimming in corruption. Thank you very much, Sam from Agudo. I like how he was able to tie both
together.
Yes, both stories together. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Yes, Fuhad, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Yes, on this very subject matter, I already said something like this on a 괏ᴏʀᴏ show. When you check Nigeria right now, the only people who are not crying about the economy in Nigeria is politicians. The only viable business right now in Nigeria
is politics.
Yes, that is the only viable business right now in Nigeria. These people have taken governance as a venture, and when they go into it, it's to make money out of it, not for the people. Check it from the way they are decamping. You see somebody who speaks so harshly and so bad about the next opponent. The next thing you will see the person do, if the person eventually wins, is to pitch tent with the person he condemns. What do you think he's looking for? He's just looking for where his bread will be buttered. So that is why all these people, they can do anything, to be in power and to be at the corridor of power. And it's not going to be good for our development. We have used everything as politics and nothing but politics. And it's unfortunate. That guy who told you that he have spent 500 million in only defending for litigation, he have not told you how much he used in buying form. He have not told you how much he have lobbied. He have not told you how much he have campaigned for he used for campaign and the rest of other things. Only litigation, he only spent 500 500 billion naira. That is what we are talking about here. What makes you think that he will going to be there for the interest of the people? He's not going there to recoup his money back. Right. And that is what we have in every state and in every local government. The only way out here is this. Let us look for the people who have the interest of the people at heart.
Right.
Let us look for them and support them whenever they are asking and canvassing for our vote. But in as much as we continue to look for those who have a deep pocket, they will continue to make merchants of us. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Hello, good morning. All right, 0913-6000-410, 3 minutes past 9, and you're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good morning, Mr. John.
Yeah, good morning. The issue at hand, I've been saying, and I'll continue to reiterate, is that this is not democracy, honestly. Democracy that is highly monetized, and where institutions are very, very weak. What do you expect? Buying form for 100 million naira. And when it is bought, now what do you expect the person that buy it to do? He's going to recoup his money. Where is the activity of this labor organization now? This NLC, this civil liberty society organizations, and where are they? Because these are the fundamental issues that has been developing us as a country, and they are not raising their eyebrows about it. All they are concerned about is about salary increase and all that. The fundamental issues that are affecting us are not being addressed by these people. This is the way it will continue to be, honestly. Heavy merchandising, that's the policies we are playing. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. John. I appreciate it. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my sister. God bless you.
Amen.
Yeah, I greet you, Mr. Fuhad.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. You see, Mr. Fuhad, no matter how you love Nigeria, I don't think you can save 500 million and contest for an election and go to National Assembly or the governor of the state and earn less than 100 million. Because Nigerian politics today, why the politicians are not doing the right thing, it is because the Nigerian politics of today, Nigerian politics is a business. It's a business. You cannot put 50,000 on a business and earn less than
50,000,
30,000 or 40,000. So that is what is happening. And the business is between the judiciary and the politicians. Because during time, the lawyers, they will be jubilating how much they will get from those that the election will not favor them, that will come to court. So that is the problem in Nigeria. Until we take out money from the politics that you see the right thing in Nigeria, from the politicians in Nigeria, but without that, this will monetize the politics. This bad governance will continue to experience it until Nigerians take their destiny into their hands, either by bringing out somebody that, like Obi, took a narrow escape, that Tinubu escaped from Obi. If not because of that, I think Obi would have been president today. But by the grace of God, Nigeria will continue to come up together like this until the politicians start to do the right thing. If not, the business of 500 million naira and earn less than 50 million can never happen in Nigerian politics. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Malam. God bless you too.
Thank you very much.
He said it now. You can't spend 500 million and earn less than that.
So no matter how much you love Nigeria. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Sandra, I greet you. Mr. Fuhad, I greet you too.
Greet you too. Yes, sir.
Yes,
your name, sir?
Nigeria's
your name, sir. So we can.
My name is Shola.
Shola, okay.
Okay. Yes. Please go on.
Shola. So let me start from the lawmaker, Abian lawmaker. You know, like I've always said, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we are not looking for solutions. We keep addressing and mentioning the same issues. The truth of the matter is that we need enforcement of the laws, if there are laws that have been enacted against all this kind of impunities, because I call this impunity. Okay, now you can see the effrontery of this lawmaker, because it has gotten to a stage that they know Nigerians are docile and there's nothing we can do about it. Doesn't need to even come out and mention that he spent 500 million. Can they do that in China? Can they do that in America? Hello, are you with me?
Well, with you, Mr. Shola.
So you can see the level of carelessness and impunity. So now, what I like dwelling on is that the solution to the problem of Nigeria is that we need enforcement of the law. And until we have credible leaders that are disciplined and have clean hands, it might not be 100%, but people that will lead by example. If not, I'm telling you, like the last caller said, this is how we are going to continue. I'm telling you. There's a saying that the kingdom of God suffers violence, and the violence taken it by force. Mind you, I'm not saying that people should go violent, but what I mean is that Nigerians need to be resolute and forceful. You know, so the second one on the BRT, the Lagos is working. Management is very key. That has been the bane of Nigerian development. So this all comes down to what I've been saying. The solution is enforcement and monitoring. Thank you. May God help us.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Enforcement and monitoring. That's as regards the BRT conversation. It's okay. 0913-6000-410. We're still live on Facebook and YouTube. Please do well to drop your contributions on the comment section. Like, share, follow. Would appreciate the support on our social media platforms. 0913-6000-410. That's the number to call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Fuhad.
Good morning.
Engineer Nee here from Japan.
Oh, good morning, Engineer Nee.
Engineer Nee, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Well, people are concerning the Abia legislator that mentioned 500 million to defend is how did he get? You see all with what they did during the oversized function and during the defense of budget and all that. Those are the area where they are getting it. They are keeping their money. And how does it all go well for Nigeria or Nigerians? So it does not. It boils down to the fact that our democracy should also be worked upon. There is need to restructure every facet of this democracy. If we meet the people that are in government mean well for Nigeria, this electioneering process, the judicial process that pronounce judgment, and the president they are laying that anybody can now be will be sponsored so long as he has deep pocket for him to be nominated by the party, whether he's a notorious criminal or not. And if we win election, no other party, no other Nigeria, every other Nigeria is an interloper, Meduson interloper. So those areas should be restructured. We need restructuring if they mean well for Nigeria. We should wake up. That is why I'm saying we are not in good hands. When they said they are not, we are not in good hands if there is no restructuring. And that is why the formidable force that is coming up by the PDP and the NPP and Labour Party should be encouraged, and people should rally around them. And they should also be ready to serve Nigeria for the purpose of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria.
You know what, Sandra? Something came to my mind now. It would have been nice to ask the lawmaker what he spent the money on.
Well, according to him, he said that he spent it on, the appeal courts. Okay, exactly what he spent.
Yes, as in was lawyers, transportation, logistics, gathering evidence, security for himself. During the defense, what I'm saying that 500 million, you should break it down. Okay, I paid my lawyers 300 million.
Defending. Let's get this straight.
Yes.
It was doing Thanksgiving.
I know what I'm saying.
It was doing Thanksgiving that I won, and I
spent 500 million defending my election, not running the entire election. And that's just defending the election. There are some other post-election issues too that he may have. This is just as regards. But defending the election, would have been nice to have a breakdown. I paid my lawyers 300 million, so we know
do we have a right to ask for that?
If he's telling us he pays, if he has come to public, tell us how much he spent.
He didn't come to public. It was in his confines of his home doing Thanksgiving.
Hey, but it got to the papers.
He got to the papers. But do we have a right to ask him? What exactly did you spend this 500 million for?
No, just
because he was not yet an officer.
But again, it would have been nice to know whether we have a right or not.
It would have been nice to know, but I don't think we have rights. 09136,000.
His constituents can ask him.
Well, they are the ones who voted him in.
And ask him, you spend it? How? Where?
Why?
What?
Did you spend so much? We voted for you. We can come out to testify that we voted for you.
I don't know. How much do lawyers collect on election matters, really? It would have been nice to know.
Oh, if there's a lawyer listening,
tell us if you know.
I know that this post-election was a cash out for a lot of lawyers.
But how big is the cash, when they're cashing out?
And this is just a federal lawmaker. It's not an exec. It's not.
He's not a governor. He's not a president. He's not, not even a senator.
That's interesting. All right, we have some messages on Facebook. So let's quickly take some Facebook messages. We have Ise Benjamin. Good morning, Mainland FM. You can see the problem we're having in Nigeria electioneering process. Godwin Oga spending 5. He said 5 million. No. 500 million, Mr. Benjamin. It's not 5 million. To defend the mandate electors have given him is unimaginable. I was saying that people can, but we voted for you. Why are you still spending money?
Because somebody can challenge that election.
Think of cases of senators representing Plateau State that have their mandate turned down by appeal court judges, which Supreme Court said the judgment is wrong. After they have spent such a
It's unfortunate, really, the Plateau situation.
To me, everything about the present government of Lagos State is all about politics, that never for the benefit of the masses. And that's Benjamin from Shogunle on Facebook. We also have Joshua from Oregon. He said, all I know is our politicians are actually good business people that can take risk without thinking twice. And that's the reason why we shouldn't be expecting anything reasonable from them. About the BRT, I can say it's the only thing that benefits a common man on the streets. We always have issues. Why is it that anything that concerns this politician doesn't have issues, except the ones that concerns the poor man?
You're unfortunate.
But they have issues. They're spending 3 billion on car parks, meaning they have a car parking issue.
But they are taking care of it, since money is appropriated for it.
That's all right. Prince Leo Ozoma. Good morning, my mainland people. Okay, tonic team. It's all right. Fuhad, thanks for the good delivery yesterday with your team. That's a political roundtable. Now, on the 500 million naira spent on the execution of his election in legal battles is highly ridiculous and unacceptable. You can now imagine how much spent to execute senatorial, gubernatorial, and presidential election in the courts. And those ones that even go to Supreme Court.
And this one didn't get to Supreme Court.
We must tune down the cost of conducting elections in our country. Unknowingly, those who conducted the shambolic elections are drinking coffee in their houses without any reprimand, with appropriate punishment. Interestingly, the man who spent such humongous amount of money to get into political office must recoup his money, which leads to corruption. The National Assembly must now come up with laws that will holistically take care of all these abnormalities moving forward immediately. Lɪධᴇ from Isolo. The man that will make the law is the one that's already spent 500 million. I don't know if that would be possible.
A lot of times when we push these things back to our lawmakers, I just wonder how we think that would happen.
Yeah, the major beneficiaries
of this entire system.
Sandra and distinguished Fuhad, I greet you satisfactorily. Mr. Fuhad, politics is social business, and the aim of every business is to make profit.
In Nigeria, it's not everywhere.
Thank you. Very important. It is only a philanthropist that would not ask for a refund if he goes into politics. Mr. I forgot his name. He said it just now that no matter how much you
love Nigeria,
you cannot spend 500 billion.
I get 100 billion back. You don't go up.
It's okay. The idea, so the Abia lawmaker only stated the obvious. The idea is spend money to gain political power, and when you enter office, recover your money first, and then make your normal profit as a political businessman.
Imagine.
I think I'm going to develop a new course called business politics or political business, using Nigeria as a case study. And I hope Mr. Fuhad will be a senior lecturer.
I'm not a politician. I have not invested in politics before.
But you're a political journalist.
Which is not business. It's just doing what I know how to do.
So you can teach them the business.
I don't know about. I don't know about political business.
The business of politics.
Is it James that I say now? James can run his show on his own.
Mr. Fuhad said, Mr. Fuhad, thank you for yesterday's political roundtable. Immediately after your program, I watched your friend, the same Dᴏᴛ on channels, trying to defend
saying all manner of things.
The sound bites you played. Please, what's the BRT story all about? Yes, Primero, one of the operators of BRT. So you know that, it's not just one person. It's a collective of private organizations, running the BRT. So one of them, Primero, is allegedly owing its drivers their December salary. So they're on strike. That's what the BRT story is about. All right, we also have Mobola and 괰ᴏᴌ saying good morning to both of you about the Abia legislator. How do you spend 500 million naira on litigation alone? Is he indirectly telling us he bribed people? How much did he spend? How much did he pay his lawyers for a start? We're all thinking it, but he said it. So let's not go different. We don't know anything about it because we want to know what exactly did he spend 500 million?
I just said it.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Mobola and 괰ᴏ. We appreciate. All right, we also have here 괰ᴏᴌ saying good morning, Mainland FM. To stop monetization in our election, the government have to be intentional about it. The media publicity, price of forms, every source of campaigning should be sponsored by the government so that no one will claim he spent millions in his election ambitions. I believe our voting should go fully digital. May God rescue Nigeria from this seamless, bottomless pit. And that is 괰ᴏᴌ. Well, that's for Facebook for now. 0913600410. That is the number to call. And this is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Oh, well, lost that one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
And good morning, Mr. Fuhad.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. This is Peter Joseph calling for sharing.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much. You see, like the other caller says that the National Assembly and House of Senate, even governors in Nigeria are business. It's true. Because now, for example, if you spend 500 million to win an election to
defend, not the entire election, to defend.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, if you spend that, if you go to House of Representatives, you first of all get SUV worth 160 million out of 500 million. Then I think the balance of how much 450 million left.
340.
Then you have constituency allowance, you have sitting allowance and wardrobe allowance and the emolument. At least between 1 year, out of 4 years, between 1 year, you have gotten that 500 million. Then the remaining 3 years is your profit. You understand? So then the remaining 3 years that is your profit, can you spend it to give Nigeria or the constituency that you represent? Can you spend it to change their life or make their life meaningful? No, because you go for business, and before you go there are some party leaders in that constituency that you even transact some amount of money to them to support you. So there's no how you can spend such money, and at the end of the day, except if you are God telling somebody, because all of them from the governor, I don't know much about the president, from the governor down to.
All right, well, thank you very much. I was able to do a breakdown, a calculation of how they make their money.
See the way we've turned democracy on the head, Sandra. We now call it business.
I hope Mr. James Mobola says he's going to open a course. Business of politics. Business politics. The business aspect of politics. You know, there's business aspect to everything. But this one is supposed to be
But when you in this business, that means there's profit from it.
Are you supposed to make profit from serving the people?
That's what how's it business?
It's supposed to be a selfless thing.
It should be about governance. The business of politics is about service to the people.
So there is business in politics. You agree that there's business.
Which is what you do when you wake up every day, go into the chambers to make laws for the people. You wake up every day as a governor to turn the
Are you saying that there is business in politics?
It is not the business of money, the business of governance.
So what should be the dividend, or what should be the result?
The dividends is that you have gone there to serve the people, and they are seeing the results of your service to them.
And they pray for you.
Well, the reality is that they are remunerated. You just get what you are supposed to get in terms of remuneration. What we're saying is that we are overspending on the business of governance.
People are overspending. Okay.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
It's normal to spend. You're supposed to spend.
But don't overspend. Yes, of course, you're going to spend. Yes.
All right. The focus for the day, 0913600410. That is the number to call. We're looking at a federal lawmaker in Abia State who said that he has spent 500 million naira defending his election. Please, let's be very, very, very explicit with this.
How would a poor, competent Nigerian now think about going into politics? You hear that, you run away.
That's to defend, though. It's to defend. So this is just after election, meaning that before the election, during the primaries, before he even got the ticket of the party, he must have spent a lot. Then even now campaigning during the elections, he must have spent a lot. And then after the election, saying thank you to all the people that have worked for him, he must have spent a lot.
Of course,
so that's this is just removing that from all of that.
So that's why I said do 500 million on post.
And this is just a House of Reps member. It's not a senator. It's not a governor. It's not a president, or it's not the president, or it's not a presidential candidate. Let me put it that way. So what does this say about the cost of running elections in Nigeria, and how badly have we monetized the electioneering process, and how does that negatively affect governance in Nigeria? How can we demonetize elections in Nigeria? And what about ensuring that politicians stick to stipulated spending limits? The second focal point, BRT passengers stranded as drivers down to overpay. And that is as regards one of the operators of the BRT service, Primero Transport Services Limited, is allegedly owing its drivers their December salary.
Why would he even do that?
And we're almost halfway through January already. So how would you rate the running of BRT services in Lagos? What's your suggestions on how they can improve their services? And what are the issues with renumerations of drivers and other personnel of the BRT service? 0913-6000-410. That is the number to call. Let's have a conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
This is Madam Ifi.
Yes,
good morning, Madam Ifi.
Welcome, Madam Ifi.
That was a weekend.
Well,
good.
Thank you very much.
You forgot that young man that used 500 million for lawyers, I think.
Post-election.
You just said defending his election.
Defending the election.
Defending
we don't know
his
if it's
election.
only for
Okay,
lawyers.
fine.
Yes.
You forgot that he's a junior brother to the former minister of steel. So what are you talking now? They did still work. They did Ministry of Steel and whatever. They did work.
What's Madam Ifi?
So what's your insinuation now, Madam Ifi?
What is the minister telling now? But don't become minister before junior brother. What is 500 million? If we even use another 500 million for campaign and all this, politics is a what do you call it? If you don't have financial money, don't go into it. Nobody sponsors you. Now you know to go take get that money. He's a junior brother to a former minister now, so I'm not surprised. As for the BRT, Sanwo-Olu, if he can give us legacy in Lagos State, bring more buses on the street. All these yellow buses, some of them are 30, 40 years on the road. They should bring more. And I don't know why a company will not pay staff in December. December, when everybody is going for your tummy, you now carry the money and you say you didn't pay your day. They even wasted time to wait till middle of the month. They could have stopped working at 2nd of January. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Madam Ife. Yes, that's actually true. Amobi Godwin Oga is the younger brother to Uchechukwu Samson Oga, who was a former Nigerian Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development under the former President Muhammadu Buhari administration.
So are we saying his brother gave him the money?
Are we saying no? It's Madam Ife.
I'm just saying.
That's not what we are saying.
Because his brother might not even put money in anything for him.
But his brother will support him.
Have you not seen brothers who have not supported brothers?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mainland FM.
Good morning, Barrister Bakari.
You will tell us whether lawyers collect huge money. Good morning, Barrister Bakari.
Good morning, Mr. Fuhad. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Let me just focus on the lawmaker who has spent 500 million defending his litigation cases. Okay. I believe him. I believe he's telling the truth. I believe the amount is even quite small. Because of the stages, the series of stages, litigation stages, and all that is involved. Now, I must tell you that the Nigerian politics is a crude one. The Nigerian political arrangement and philosophy is crude, very crude, and crude to the ordinary Nigerians. You cannot continue to have a situation where you have an election is conducted, aggrieved participants go to court. The winner, so declared by INEC, we have to defend, definitely. And then in defending, the party is joined, the candidate is joined, INEC is joined. So, most of the time, let me tell you one secret. The candidates also take care of the legal fee of the party or the council representing the party. It's part of
the bills he has to pay.
You have to pay. They do a lot to also keep the council to the party going, so that he can put in his best to get them results. And then most of the time, there's also an extension of this goodwill to the council of INEC. So all this put together, and then you know the process, filing, trying to get the best hand. And senior advocates don't charge small. You must understand that. So I believe the lawmaker, I agree with him, I believe him 100% because of the process and all that is involved in defending. Also, don't forget that he came from the Labour Party, and I'm sure he had a lot of pressure on him. PDP, APC, they believe they won. They couldn't imagine that the Labour Party candidates will defeat them. So, so there was that pressure on him, and he needed to stand firm by getting the best hands. And in getting best hands,
you have to pay through your nose.
Now, yes, and what is the way forward? Because I've been trying to 1 minute, Sandra, I've been trying to cross it right. What is the way forward? We must introduce independent candidacy. Why must it be that a person must come from a political party? What is the big deal about it?
Thank you, Barrister.
Some of these things will help reduce the amount and give people.
We'll have a conversation maybe in some other shows. Thank you, Barrister.
Not to worry. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, we need to talk about monetization or the business of politics in Nigeria.
Hello, good morning.
That's one thing that we need to talk about. Why are you ***ing? It's something that James Ogbonna said it, and he has invited you as one of the lecturers, guest lecturers on that.
I'm not the right person to talk to.
You will talk it, and I will ensure that you talk it. 0913600410. That is the number to call. We're still live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. The program runs up until 9:45 a.m. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Good morning.
What? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's Joe from Bariga.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
So, Fuhad, this morning, I don't know whether it's in the news. This terrorists killing our people near the borders or whatever. So we are not talking about it again. And then the issue of our drones. Are we no more using our drones to fight these terrorists?
In some of our shows, we talk about insecurity. I know insecurity is a big issue, but that's not the focus this morning, Mr. Joe.
I know, I didn't hear you very well.
I say in other shows.
We talked about insecurity last Wednesday in the situation room.
Oh, okay,
my
dear.
Yes.
Good morning.
So, okay. All right. But as regards, the border attack, it's not on the major, it's not on the headline.
At least the four papers we have here.
The four papers that we have here. If not, of course, we would have talked about it because this program actually is focused on the major trending stories on the front pages of dailies. Now, for specific conversations, you can join us on other shows. Programs. We have the Situation Room Mondays through Fridays, 4 p.m. to 5:30, and then on Wednesdays we have the Big Talk by 10 a.m. We also have Midweek Politics by 1 p.m. and on Thursday is Open Forum, open mic. So you can come back and join us on Thursday by 1 p.m. with Saheed Fuhad for a plethora of topics we're discussing, and it's just all for you to share your thoughts and contribution. Thank you very much for joining us.
Mr. Joe from Bariga.
Yes, 0913-6,410. That is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, lady and gentlemen. God bless you people there.
Amen. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Pastor Bola Adetunji is my name. I'm calling from K2.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Let me first of all talk on the BRT issue. I have someone who is like a younger brother to me, is one of their drivers there. You need to really probe very well to know what these people are passing through there. I'm made to understand that their MD or whoever is the headship there is a relative to Tinubu. Hence, as in is behaving. Like one caller told you, actually there are some other minor companies operating under BRT. They are well managed to the extent that the drivers who are paid accident-free bonus, this and that, and a lot of other incentives, especially at the village side, have bag of rice, roro, and so on and so forth. But in this case, you see those ones working under the Lagos state government that have just gone on strike. One, they are prevented from being unionized. So the management is catching them. There is no cohesion. Even this one that they went to, at the end of the day, they will be looking for scapegoats, things like that. They will owe them salaries in a month, 2-3 months, this and that. They won't pay them. You imagine, these are family men. They have family. They pay bills, house rent, this and that, and so on and so forth. They have children in schools. Look at what the bleak Christmas and India that they make.
You owe them in December.
It's every time. This is not the first time. So please help us probe into these people. But, and funny enough, you can imagine that fares are being paid up front. People buy, you recharge your card. If you don't have money there, you don't go in. There are people that buy excess of 10,000-15,000 naira, this and that, and they may not choose. Why are they owing these people? This is wickedness. It is wickedness. Just punishing them for nothing. And these are devoted people. You see them, they are out very early, as early as 5. That's my brother will leave home before 5. To resume work at after 5 or thereabout.
Thank you. Good morning.
You can imagine. So please, let me leave that one as it is. I just try to enlighten you people to shed more light into it so that more Nigerians will get to know what is really happening there. So the management needs to be probed. The government needs to really come in. Leave statements about whether.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate.
I think we've had the drivers in our Yoruba program at Tommy, and they said a whole lot about the conditions of service.
Oh well, we can still bring them on for our
other shows.
Yes, on other shows, so we can have a full-length conversation as regards that. Please let's stick within the 2 minutes time frame that's allotted to every caller, so we can have as many contribution as possible. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
I got this guy. I don't know if you have used me. Mr. Fuhad, morning to you.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
Yeah. Morning. I'm calling you from right away. Please, I want to first of all complain before coming to your topic. From Folks to Ajalaba, the road is very bad.
I want to appeal to Lagos State government to do something. You know, to allow local governments like that place. If a town inside the road, why can't you fill all those photos by the chairman of the council? That for that. For the topic this morning, 500 million just for a candidate go to the National Assembly. I said it from day one. The democracy we are practicing today in this country is too expensive. We borrow it from America. And when we spend money, look at, we spend $500,000 for just a lawyer. What of other expenses? So for me, this country, so it's better we go to free democracy, free independent constitution. But who will bear the cat? That's what. That's the problem I'm facing. Oh no, nah. When you talk of bill be taking every month, where they want to include what is our spent. Okay, see, and whether you are PDP, you are APC, you are the new party, both of them are spending. That is why when you go to National Assembly, they say they are buying 160 million this thing. No opposition oppose it. No opposition can say, lay example, say, as the ruling party is spending 160 for their legislator, my own legislator, please don't take that amount. No. As well as taking a huge amount for a salary home. What of allowances?
Thank you,
so for me, we have to take it as we see. But you will bet the card. That's a big question to you, Mr. Fuhad, to answer. Good morning to you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate so many questions, so many responsibilities that have been pushed to Fuhad this morning. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, we're happy.
Yes. We have some messages on Facebook. Let's take this one. I have here, 괰ᴏʀᴏ is saying, there is no doubt that election has become a big business following the statement by a candidate alleging to have spent 500 million naira just to defend his mandate given to him by the people. It's glaring that we can never have the likes of politicians that will be ready and willing to improve the living condition of the citizens. If this kind of spending should continue, there is no democracy in monetizing the process. This is the reason they get into office, to loot the treasury. Sorry, I've lost track. Okay, no wonder the governor of Kano State, the Supreme Court just declared gave accolades to the president for not interfering in the judgment is laughable. And it's a big shame on the part of the judiciary.
Yeah, that statement, Sandra, we didn't pick it in the papers, but I think it's in the Punch newspapers that President Tinubu did not bow to pressure, to interfere with the Supreme Court judgment. That's a very telling statement.
It says a lot.
It says a whole lot about the electoral process.
And every time I just remember Bukachua. But let's move on.
So does the president have the capacity to interfere?
To interfere. I said I just remember Bukachua. You're asking.
What did Bukachua say?
What? This is the business of politics I'm talking about. I was just wondering if Supreme Court admitted new evidence to upturn the judgment earlier delivered by the appeal court. It's time for the judiciary to have total autonomy. Also, it's unfortunate that Lagos State, that generates huge revenue from BRT, cannot pay or manage the transport sector. Now, wow.
That's why the poor payment, they can't even pay regularly.
Or not to pay. I mean, this money is small already, so just pay it up, I guess. So those are the messages that we have on Facebook for now. We're still live on Facebook. You can do well to drop your comments in the live chat section at Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
My name is Bumi, calling from Command.
All right, Bumi, please go ahead.
See, Mr. Fuhad.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Last thing I want to just say is this: 500 million for just cases after election. Remember that the primary form for APC is just 100 million for presidential. So you and I cannot be a candidate of that kind of thing.
Abio.
So somebody has spent nothing less than, let me say, 2 billion naira for a president. Or let's say $1 billion for
this is House of Rest member, he's not president.
No, I'm just calculating everything together. So now that kind of business now, and they will now come and tell the person that he should come and be taking peanuts. After that, we have a lot of padding and all of these things. These people are not ready to serve us because they themselves have already invested a lot of money inside these things. This is just only what I'm telling you. A lot of bribe, a lot of other things, a lot of about this. They will not calculate all those things. What are the ones they will give to touts and all these things? These are what is killing the Nigerian politics. I said we should devalue the Nigerian politics. We should make it less attractive. And let's see if we have good people that will come and serve the nation. If the salary of all these politicians are based on this
sitting allowance,
civil servants levels. Okay, you are a level sitting officer. You are taking this. Let's see if they are taking the same salary with the teacher. Will anybody a teacher will not come and tell you that I want to have spend 500 million on any kind of position? No. Where will he get it? So if they are taking the same salary scale with a teacher with all these things, let's see who will now go there and go and spend that kind of money. That is what is killing the Nigerian politics. It is too expensive. Too expensive. And nobody is questioning where they get this money from. So I just pray that we not just go and end up in sorry, I will not.
It's okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's all right. 091360410. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Fuhad.
Morning, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
You said your name is.
Oh, Paul.
Okay. All right, sir.
How much is PDP governorship for Edo State? Have you heard it?
No, I've not.
We are there something million. I don't know the part of.
We'll have to recheck that.
We'll have to check that.
You check?
We'll have to check that.
Okay. We are in this country, presidential user of APC is 100 million. To them it's nothing. So all this thing in Nigeria is not for the poor person. How many headmasters is president or commissioner in this country? So it's like a level come and say narrative a little bit. So 500 million, how do you manage to raise the money?
Thank you.
For this sponsors? So we don't have all these things. On no account, I'm talking about, I've been canvassing that all these constituencies, this and that. We should scrap it. We are just there for lawmaking. You don't go to politics like what America does. Don't go there to reach yourself. It's only criminals go there to reach yourself. That's the quote from former American president.
All right. Thank you very much.
You don't go to politics to reach yourself.
All right.
Yes, it is that. If we have politics on, what do you say them to do?
Okay.
Thank you, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Edo governorship PDP form, 35 million naira. Yes. 35 million.
For governor.
Yeah, governorship. It's not too expensive now, is it? Me. I'm not from Edo State.
Thank you very much. Well, that will be a wrap for calls for today. Let's see what we have on our WhatsApp platform. We have quite a lot to take from the WhatsApp platform. We have Good Morning Mainland FM. The matter of our election being monetized should be one of the reasons that our Electoral Act has to be seriously looked into. But unfortunately, those at the helm of affairs in our country today are not ready to do anything about that. This is one of the things Obi would always work to achieve, to demonetize or our electioneering system. And for BRT, we should always understand that these so-called leaders never cared for poor Nigerians, but will always play politics with everything. And that's James from Agbado Junction. Thank you very much. I also have here, good morning. Concerning the Primero BRT, I have someone working there and the person is struggling due to unpaid salary. The person is working as a mechanic. That's unfortunate. Thank you, Ade from Amuwo Dofin. We appreciate. I also have here, good morning, Sandra. The politicians that spent $500 million on litigation for his mandate. I want to ask, in the entire 4 years tenure, how much is he going to earn as salary and allowance for that office? How can we fight corruption? I don't think this type of democracy will help this country. It's unfortunate. Emeka Moses, well, can't help but agree. We also have here the statement from the so-called lawmaker who spent over 500 million on post-election wahala. We're only reminded of the ugly reality. It's a good thing that the Supreme Court has made a good attempt to correct most of these inconsistencies. Well, Steve from Ijaniki, thank you very much. That's a wrap for today on Mainland Focus. But as we always say, the conversation continues By 4 p.m., join 괏ᴏഌ in the Situation Room. But the Morning Express continues. After now, we'll be back by 10 a.m. for Global View. And then after that, Mother and Child comes on air. So please stay with us.
Mainland 98.3 FM.